There's a table-turning vibe in the Bay right now. 4 pieces moving at once, any one of them capable of changing the arc of this season. Between sleepless doubts, potential reinforcements, and a familiar face knocking again, the defense is gathering traction while a single offensive decision threatens to spark a heated debate. Who's coming back? Who's riding the edge? And who could shock us on Sunday? Stay alert, faithful. This week's story has sharp curves, hidden tells, and one nagging question we can't shake. Are we finally seeing the adjustment this team needed, or just more smoke before the fire? The 49ers are getting ready to face the Giants with a blend of anticipation and tension, and Thursday's practice only cranked up the intrigue, especially on offense. Brock Purdy remains uncertain. A limited participant again, yes, but taking more reps than last week. Offensive coordinator Clay Kubiak refused to name a starter, offering only that the quarterback is getting better. That flips on the caution light. Do you roll the dice with Purdy, or lean into Plan B in a game that cannot slip away? With each practice, the decision carries more weight, and the fan base can feel that uncertainty in the air. On the other side of the ball, there's relief. The defensive line is starting to knit itself back together. D. Winters, Yetur Gross-Matos, Sam Okwainonu, and Alfred Collins returned, limited but present. All signs point to Gross-Matos being back, which would be a massive boost for the rotation. Bryce Huff, still navigating a hamstring issue, likely needs another week. And that stings, because everyone knows how much his presence warps protections and speeds up a quarterback's internal clock. Ricky Pearsall, meanwhile, remained out, though he was seen running on a side field. The rookie, who had emerged as an important third-down option, is trending toward missing another game. Ben Bartch, however, has a real shot to return after a second straight limited day. Kyle Shanahan kept it measured. 6 weeks out with an ankle means they'll judge him by how he looks in full-speed work. No shortcuts here, and no sense risking a setback. A few others remain on the monitor. Upton Stout and Jordan Elliott are still limited. But there's one big positive. Spencer Burford, the swing tackle, practiced fully and is trending toward being available on Sunday. And then there was the 48-hour roster about face. Brandon Parker rejoined the practice squad and Andre Dillard was released, reversing the earlier move. It's a reminder that depth is a living, breathing thing in this league, and San Francisco is still tuning it for the stretch. Bottom line, the mood in Santa Clara is one of expectation and caution. The roster is inching toward a healthier balance between bodies and strategy, but the faithful know how this goes. With the 49ers, nothing is ever simple, and games like this tend to reveal what you're really made of. It sure doesn't feel like the front office is finished. In fact, it might be just getting started. After bringing in Keon White as a depth piece, rumors surfaced that John Lynch and company want one more body to juice the defensive rotation. The messenger is interesting. Ricky Scoops, who tends to resurface when something big is brewing, says the Niners are expected to add another defensive lineman before the deadline. And the name echoing loudest right now is Jalen Phillips of the Miami Dolphins. Bleacher Report pushed the idea further. Christopher Knox identified San Francisco as a potential landing spot for the pass rusher. The logic is simple and bold. Phillips is in the final year of his rookie deal, and Miami appears willing to listen. The projected price? A 2026 fourth-round pick. Low risk, substantial upside. It's exactly the kind of swing Lynch likes when he senses the roster is one clean tweak away from reasserting itself at the top. There is a but. Phillips' injury history is real. Just 12 games across 2 seasons, but when he's available, the impact jumps off the tape. In 2025, he carries an 80.4 PFF pass rush grade, top 15 among 119 qualifiers. He disrupts in multiple ways, pairing length with elite athleticism to affect both the pass and the run. And here's the detail that lights up the faithful. His profile hints at what the 49ers lost when Nick Bosa went down. The rumor is growing and the fan base online is split. One side wants Lynch to push all the chips in, viewing Phillips as the ideal complement to a young group still searching for its identity. The other side worries about spending draft capital on a player with medical flags. But the front office calculus is clear. If the cost truly is a day 3 pick, the upside outweighs the risk. There's also the rental angle. San Francisco could use Phillips as a short-term accelerator that raises the ceiling without mortgaging the future. Through 8 games, he's logged 21 tackles, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. Not eye-popping, but steady. The question hanging over the building is straightforward. Will John Lynch actually pull the trigger? A familiar face is back in Santa Clara, and the name alone brings a smile. Clelin Ferrell. The defensive lineman returns to the 49ers on a practice squad deal, bringing not only experience but also an emotional connection to the locker room and the defensive system. Pharrell, part of that 2023 Super Bowl push, knows Chris Kokorek's culture and demands inside and out, and that can be a quiet trump card as the season bends toward its decisive stretch. Speaking with NBC Sports Bay Area, Farrell didn't downplay the feeling. "When I first got here, it felt like home. There are new faces, but the spirit is the same that resonates." He knows exactly what this second act means: emotional and technical stability for a young room still searching for consistency after injuries along the line. In his previous stint, Farrell posted 30 quarterback pressures, 28 tackles, and 3.5 sacks, solid production that speaks to steady, honest work. He also stood out in a way Kokorek values deeply: mentality. Success isn't just execution, it's belief. "Be ready for the moment," Farrell said. He speaks life into players. It's the sort of message that keeps a unit aligned when the margins grow thin in November and December. After leaving San Francisco, Farrell logged 14 starts with Washington and spent a short stint on the Chargers practice squad. Now he returns to the place where, by his own account, he felt he was playing his best football. Expect him to be used initially on early downs, splitting snaps with Bryce Huff and other young pieces, then expanding if the form and the fit hold. The faithful responded instantly. Many framed the move as a redemption arc, a sign that the team is balancing youth with proven know-how. Others, more cautious, pointed to the low-risk nature. Symbolic, yes, but useful. Either way, Farrell's impact runs beyond the field. It's the presence of someone who has already carried the weight of the red and gold and understands what it costs to fight to the final whistle for this franchise. The mood in Santa Clara shifted the moment Robert Saleh stepped to the microphones. The 49ers defensive coordinator sounded more confident, more convinced, maybe because, at long last, the pieces he's been waiting on are snapping into place. The focal point, the new arrival from New England, Keion White. The trade surprised plenty on the outside, but inside the locker room, the sense is that San Francisco just found a raw gem perfectly suited to Saleh's system. Asked why White fell out of favor in New England, Saleh deflected, "That's a question for them." Translation: talent wasn't the issue. He raved about White's traits, length, explosion, and the flexibility to win on the edge or kick inside, and made clear the plan is to weaponize that versatility in the pass rush. He's got a profile similar to Michael Williams. He can line up outside and also be a fast interior rusher. An active body, ready to make an impact, Saleh said. Then came the eyebrow-raising hint. Saleh suggested the door remains open for further defensive additions. "That's more for John and Kyle," he said with a grin. "But I'll never say no. If you're listening, John." A light line with heavy meaning. It tracks with the rumblings about another edge potentially on the way. Perhaps even the same name everyone's been whispering about. Meanwhile, injured players returning are pumping oxygen back into the rotation. Bryce Huff is expected back next week. Yetur Gross-Matos has already returned. Sam Okwainonu continues to stack productive reps, and Alfred Collins is surging in practice. It's a young group, but it's maturing quickly. And White arrives precisely to sharpen the internal competition where San Francisco wants it most. Saleh also highlighted something that's easy to miss: manufacturing favorable matchups for the front. The dream is a free runner. The next best outcome is a one-on-one with leverage. That aggressive mentality is San Francisco's DNA. Apply heat, wear you down, force the mistake. And now, with key pieces returning and an explosive athlete like White entering the mix, the Niner gang can feel this defense trending back towards something truly fearsome. From a game plan lens, the quarterback call changes everything. Cadence, tempo, how much you ask the line to hold up on deeper drops, and whether you lean more on quick game or move the pocket. If Purdy gets the nod, expect a heavier dose of timing concepts and layered throws that stress the short and intermediate windows. If it's plan B, complementary football becomes the headline. Lean on field position, trust the defense, and treat every possession like a 4-point swing. For the defensive front, the trick this week is sequencing. You want fresh legs in the fourth quarter, which means rotating earlier than feels comfortable in the first and second. That's where a returning Gross-Matos and a fully ramped Burford on the other side subtly intersect. Longer offensive drives by the defense rest, a deeper rotation pays it back late. With Phillips, the calculus isn't just about sacks, it's about pass rush threats, forcing protections to declare early. Even as a rotational piece, his presence could create one-on-one chances for interior rushers, often where the kill shot lives in the system. Farrell's value also shows up on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Setting edges with proper leverage, drilling run fits, and policing practice tempo are the hidden snaps that make Sundays quieter. Veterans who speak the language of the scheme shorten learning curves for everyone, especially when the room is young and the season is long. And on Saleh's board, leverage isn't a buzzword, it's the operating system. The aim is the same every week: force the offense to block ghosts or lose one-on-ones in space. Do that, and the back end can squeeze windows and turn tips and overthrows into takeaways. To wrap it up, faithful, the week delivered uncertainty at the controls of the offense, real signs of recovery in the front seven, and moves that point to an aggressive plan for the pass rush. If Purdy is ready, the playbook opens. If not, the defense needs to set the tone and shorten the field. The return of bodies, the arrival of Keon White, and the possibility of yet another edge could redefine this team's identity as soon as Sunday. Would you bet on patience or on an all-in push before the deadline? Drop your take in the comments. If you enjoyed the breakdown, throw a like on it, subscribe, and share it with a Niner who lives for the red and gold.